Hello and welcome to this video that will talk you through my experimentation trying to achieve the highest attack damage possible that's actually feasible and applicable to play through the game with. I've taken inspiration from the excellent Limitbreakers video on the highest AR damage that you can achieve. Amazing video, but that's purely a maths test. You have to be in a specific location at a bonfire, Lothric Castle, to achieve those numbers. So it's simply a numbers game. I wanted to use the great advice and guidance from Limitbreakers to turn it into something feasible that you can actually use throughout the game to do a run with. So let me talk you through all of the various combinations I've been exploring, and I'm going to break it down into two avenues. The best damage that's actually applicable to play through the game with using RTSR and Morian Blade, and then another damage option that ignores those two. So simply you don't have to degrade your health to the minimum. You can keep full health more or less, and we'll see what damage we can achieve minus the RTSR. So with that in mind, let's get into this. Okay, so let's first show you the RTSR route to the highest damage I've been able to achieve. Probably worth just showing you my stats as well. I've got 70 strength, 70 faith. There's simply a run out of patience of getting to 99, quite frankly. So do bear that in mind with the data set we're working with today. We have Bloodlust to injure ourselves as we just did. Sunlight Straight Sword in right hand. Heavy Lothric plus 10. Great Sword in right hand. Morian Blade, which you don't need to level to get the bonus. Our Sanctuary Balvine and our Pyromancy Flame, which will come in use later actually, that's just in there for now. We've got the RTSR, Lingering Dragon Crest, really useful. Pontiff's Right Eye, which we'll cover shortly in fact, and Lightning Clutch Ring. So let's show you how this goes. We are using the Sunlight Straight Sword in lieu of Sacred Oath. I do have Sacred Oath, it does slightly less damage. Does 10% damage versus the 11.5 you get from Sunlight Straight Sword, although Sacred Oath will benefit more from the Lingering Dragon Crest ring. This ring will not syncopate with this sword buff, so that's something to keep in mind, but I'm trying to push for the most damage here, so that's what I've gone for. So let's first cast with that. Let's get the Lightning Blade cast. Oh, I didn't have my blues ready. Let's switch to the Morian. And we should have our 1-5-17 without the Raw. With the Raw, we get up to 1-6-3-3. So just to show you that again, that is 1-5-17 without the Raw. With the Raw, we're topping off at 1-6-3-3. Okay, very nice RTSR damage. So let's consider for a moment that we've been able to activate Pontiff's Right Eye. Now I had in mind for this using the Cestus or the Claw that I've got here, so we can stick that in the Pyromancy slot as an example, or maybe even use the Sunlight Straight Sword, which actually would be more applicable for it, so we could probably swap that over into this hand, as it doesn't really matter. The buff will still remain as it's a body buff, and we could use the Sunlight Straight Sword in the offhand. In fact, let's do that. And it should take 3 hits with that to activate, like that, to activate our Pontiff's Right Eye. So with the first stage we will get a 3% additional damage. So if we can land those 3 hits with the Sunlight Straight Sword, akin to that, on top of our damage of 1-6-3-3, we'll get 3% additional buff, and that will take us up to 1-6-8-2. Just going to have these numbers rolling on the screen for you. If we manage to land our 6 hits, which takes us up to a 5% damage increase, 6, just got the stamina for that. That'll take us up to 1-7-14. And finally, if by some miracle we manage to land the 9 hits, we haven't even got the stamina for that, we will manage to get a 10% increase So then we could double hand and land 1796 damage in theory. I don't see this as being very feasible. I could certainly buff my my stamina with things like the Ring of Favour. I could swap out to that, I guess, see if I could land the 9, but ultimately I don't see this being hugely feasible. However, the data's on the screen for you if you want to peruse. Okay guys, let's now show you option 2, which is the non-RTSR option. Far less risk with this, but still trying to achieve the max damage that we can do. So we do Oath of Sunlight again with the Sunlight Straight Sword. We then pop our power within, and we get our Lightning Blade on. We now should have 1264 damage flat rate. With the Torso Roar, we're achieving 1361. Not bad at all considering we've got most of our health bars still. So just to show you that again, that's 1264. And with the Dragon Roar, 1361. Considering that our flat rate damage with this sword was 688, 1361 is not bad going without engaging the RTSR. I hope you agree. But guess what? There is one more glorious option that I'm going to show you in just a moment. Keep watching. So what's happening here is we've already cast our Oath of Sunlight. We're also casting Power Within, and we've activated RTSR range by diminishing our health. And then we've hit Bountiful Sunlight, which creates this dance where we can hover between death and life with 1820 damage output. It's crazy. You will not die. The Bountiful Light overtakes every other spell. It outlasts it. And with the Roar, we're doing 1960 damage. Crazy stuff. So let's test this out in the real world. As you can see, it lasts a fair time, pretty damn good. Normal R1 attack versus this guy. Dead, 1707. Possibly the toughest mob enemy that you will face in the game. Definitely up there. Winged Knights, 1R1. That's taken him down to less than half. We've still got the cranking damage. We'll hit a Roar. So 2 R1 attacks for these guys. And finally, what would happen if we did a charged R2 attack? I wonder. Dead. Well over 2000 damage. I'll have to watch that back to check it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys, and I hope you find fun ways to use some of these tips. Take care.